Eat in a calorie deficit, eliminating processed foods will make that much easier. Train 3 to 4 times a week in the gym. Move your body every single day, even if that's just through walking, and sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. That's it. That's what you need to achieve a transformation like this. But you will keep failing because of this weird deadline you've set for yourself. 30 days? Really? First off, that is a very unrealistic timeline because you're trying to go from being an inflated balloon to a Greek statue in just 30 days. That is genuinely unrealistic. And the second thing is, because of this unrealistic timeline that you've given yourself, when you're in the process of it, when you get to day 19, day 20, day 21, and you don't see the result that you expect, you turn up the intensity notch. You try to break it, in fact. You do 20,000 steps every single day. Go to the gym every single day. Do cardio every single day. You eat leaves. You starve yourself. And what ends up happening is by day 30, you burn out. And you also don't get the result you want. Which is why you go, this stuff doesn't work. This weight loss stuff doesn't work. I can't lose. I just can't lose weight. I'm just obese. I can't lose weight. I'm not meant to be fit. No, dummy. You just took the wrong approach. Because if you did everything I mentioned at the start of this video for 6 to 12 months, you are bound to get that result, inshallah. You will get that physique that you want. You will be able to achieve a transformation like this, inshallah. It's not that complicated. Just 6 to 12 months of focused effort doing the right things. That's what you need. Because it took me 12 months to achieve this transformation. However, I made a lot of mistakes on this path. A ton of mistakes. And despite that, I still got there in 12 months. So what's to say that you can't do that? In fact, I've given you the blueprint, bro. Just do the right things. Just do these things every single day for the next whole year and you're going to get there. Eating in a calorie deficit, moving your body every single day, going to the gym, 3 to 4 times a week, and sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night. That's all you need. So if I got there despite making so many mistakes, you can get there 100%. But you won't. Because of this weird limit, this timeline that you've been, brainwashed with, or just you've given yourself. Let go. Stop obsessing over when you're going to get the result and start obsessing over what you need to do to get the result. Start obsessing over your workout. Start obsessing over your training sessions. Start obsessing over your sleep. Start obsessing over the foods you eat. Obsessing over that is what will move the needle. Not just obsessing over, when am I going to get there? Work like you want it next week. Be that obsessed with the inputs, but be okay with it happening next year. That's the mindset. That is the mindset. Because you think when I was in the process of achieving this transformation, alhamdulillah, I was stressing over, when am I going to get my abs? No, I wasn't doing that. I was enjoying the journey. I remember, bro, that whole year was bliss. Because I got excited. Every single time my pull-up numbers went up. Every single time my push-up numbers went up. I was focused upon that. Every single time I saw a slight change in my physique, my triceps were popping. My shoulders were starting to get rounder. I could see less fat on my stomach than 3 months ago. That is what got me excited. That is what pushed me. That is what I was focused on. And therefore, I enjoyed the process and it went through like this. Those 12 months went by so fast because I was so focused on the things I was doing that I did not even feel the time pass by. And the thing is, the moment you do that, the moment you succumb to the process, that is when you will truly make faster progress. Because all this weird stress and pressure you've put upon yourself of trying to get to this goal in an unrealistic amount of time, that pressure, that stress is lifted off of you. And you can finally take a breath and now focus on the right things. I'll give you a very recent example of this. I tore my supraspinatus tendon, which is a part of the rotator cuff in your shoulder. I tore that about 16 months ago. And I started rehab for that 14 months ago. 14 months ago. I haven't been able to train how I want to, how I would, right? To be able to train hard and to be able to push myself every single training session. I haven't been able to do that for the past 14 months. It's almost like I've forgotten what it feels like to train without any thought in the back of your mind of, I hope this injury is still fine. It's been that long. And what actually happened was it took me 8 months to get back to my old strength levels. Think about this. When you are on a roller coaster, it goes up and up and up. And the moment before it goes down, right? You're at that top. I was just at that top. I was going down, right? That means things were starting to flow. At that point in time, I pushed myself too hard. Which is why my injury flared up. So I couldn't lift that much weight anymore. And I had to go back and I had to build back to that weight, which took me about 2 months extra. And then I started training hard again, but I ignored the exact same sign I felt previously. My shoulder was feeling a bit achy, but I still pushed myself. And I had another flare-up. So I was like, okay, whatever. I was about 2 weeks into fixing that flare-up when I had a third flare-up because I pushed myself too hard on tricep extension. So I had 3 whole flare-ups. And now I'm in the process of fixing that third flare-up. The whole reason this happened was because of a lack of patience. Because I was trying to get the result fast. Because I wanted that physique fast. I'm too insecure about my physique right now. This is what it looks like. I'm too insecure about it. And so I wanted to get back to normal training fast so I could get that result fast. But in doing so, I only slowed myself down. So now I've adopted a different mindset. I'm like, let it take as long as it's going to take. I am not going to rush the process. I'm not going to rush my rehab. A prime example of that actually was last workout. When I was doing landmine press, I felt this weird sensation in my shoulder. It felt like my shoulder was numb on my way up. The version of me before I realized this, he'd be like, whatever, just push for it, right? But this time I was like, you know what? I'm supposed to do 17 kilograms on the overhead press, but this doesn't feel right. So I'm gonna do 10 kilograms, 22 pounds on the deadlift press. That's it. And in the moment, I was pretty sad because I was like, I'm slowing down in progression. But a few days after that, now I realized that it was the right move because alhamdulillah, now my shoulder feels fine. But I know for a fact, if I push myself and I did 17 kilograms, for a fact, I know in that workout, I'd be like, oh yeah, push for 17 kilograms. After that workout, I'd be like, oh crap, why did I do that? I don't know, God knows, Allah knows, but it might have caused me a fourth flare. So I was easily able to prevent that by just succumbing to the process and not trying to rush it and just doing the things that need to be done. Which is why I don't think, inshallah, I don't think I'm going to have a fourth flare up. Could be, I hope not, inshallah, but with this approach, I don't think I'm going to have a fourth flare up. And that is why. Go slow. Go sustainable. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. This applies heavily to fitness. When you do the things that will get you to your goal in a way, in a fashion that you can sustain, that is when it's only a matter of time before you get to your goal, inshallah. Stop trying to get lean as heck in just 30 days and start seeing what you can do in 300. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.